Hello, everyone, and welcome to my show that's hosted by Unique Voices in Films and the Path of Consciousness. Today, I have a very special guest, Melita Gvalevich. Am I close? Okay.
No, you're totally right. Totally.
Melita is the founder of Melita's Dream Animal Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit which is foster-based rescue dedicated to saving dogs from euthanasia, lists as high kill shelters across Northern and Southern California. She and her team rescue abused, neglected, and abandoned dogs, offering them safety, medical care, and the love and support they need to heal and thrive. Driven by a deep commitment to second chances, Melita's Dream Animal Rescue works to help deserving dogs find loving forever homes, one rescue at a time. I love that. Oh, yeah, yep. I wonder if I hear that it's the interview is echoing. I will try to just give the floor to you. Basically, I'd like to know a little bit about your background and how you got involved in this work.
Okay. So I was born and raised in Iran. I'm a Syrian Christian. I came to US in 1988 with my family. I went to high school here, to college, university. I started fostering for another rescue in 2021. No, actually, I think it was before that. Probably I would say 2019. Um, I fostered like puppies, like I had parvo puppies, Giardia puppies, like sick puppies, and I had like five, six puppies at a time. Plus, I had my own dogs. So I did that for probably a year, over a year. Um, After that, I was like, I have to open my rescue. I always wanted to have my own rescue, and I was like, I have to open my rescue. No matter what, I have to do it. So in 2021, I decided to open on my own rescue. So I opened my own rescue, and I did it as a foster base because I don't have a facility like boarding facility, like or like let's say like shelter for the dog. So I did it as a like a foster base rescue.
So, for the people who don't know, what exactly is a high kill shelter and what does it mean for a dog to be on a euthanasia list?
Most of the California shelters are high kill shelters because they're over capacity, they're overcrowded. They have so many dogs that they don't have enough space. So most of them, they kill the dogs after a certain amount of time. And when I say euthanasia list, that means they put them on the list that to be euthanized. So they usually give them 72 hours, if any rescue or anyone can step up to save that dog within those 72 hours, good. If not, after 72 hours is up, they euthanize the dog.
That seems like a short time. Is it for all dogs or is it like the older?
Most of it's mostly for the dogs that only rescues can rescue them because of some behavior issues or some medical issues. So they're not adoptable, like they cannot do like public adoption. So mostly for rescue dogs, I would say. I mean, let's see if they find a stray dog, okay, and then they take the dog in. They usually put the dog on hold, if I'm not mistaken, 7 to 10 days, in case like owner claims the dog back or for any reason. So they usually put the dog on hold for 7 to 10 days, but after that they give like usually like 72 hours, and they say that, hey, we have 72 hours for a rescue to come and rescue this dog. If not, we're going to put the dog down.
Okay, so walk us through the process of what that looks like from the moment that you pull a dog off the list, with the first 24 hours of you trying to rescue a dog.
So let's say we have a foster. We can only rescue a dog when we have a committed foster. So we know that the foster will take care of the dog until we find a good forever home for the dog. So I emailed the shelter because like I'm the founder of the rescue. I emailed the shelter. I tell them, hey, I need to tag and rescued this dog, okay, with his dog ID, with the dog's name, okay? And they say, okay, the dog is still available, he's not been euthanized, and no other rescue has offered to rescue him. So they confirm. As soon as we get the confirmation, usually they give us 24 hours. If it's confirmed today, the dog needs to be out by tomorrow. But some of the shelters, no. If it's confirmed right now, they only give us 3 hours to go and get the dog and take him out of the shelter. So some of them are very strict. So we have to kind of rush. Everything is like time consuming. So the ones that they give us like 24 hours, the next day we go. Even sometimes the foster goes, they're like, I'm going to go and pick up the dog. And then, or my team will go, my networkers will go, or I'll go myself. We pick up the dog from the shelter. We take the dog to the foster. And then rescue provides everything to the foster, like as far as food, supplies, medication, toys, anything that they need. Rescue provides that. So we drop off the dog at the foster, and the foster takes care of the dog. And usually we let the foster know these dogs have been through a lot, they're traumatized, they're exhausted, they're stressed, everything, so they need to decompress. So after that, the foster like takes care of the dog, and they do like a slow introduction with other member of the family, with other dogs, until like the foster keeps the dog, like basically takes care of the dog until we find a home for the dog, forever home.
How does this not stress you out?
It's very, very stressful, especially if we know that we only have like 2 hours to save a dog. Like they say that the dog will be put down at 4 o'clock, and it's like 1 o'clock, and we still don't have a foster. And then like last minute, like at 3 o'clock, sometimes even like 3:30, I get an email or text from my team. Oh, we have a foster, committed foster. She wants the dog. She wants to foster the dog, or he wants to foster the dog. So we have to send an email to the shelter. Hey, please do not euthanize the dog. We're going to save the dog. So it's very stressful and very time consuming.
What keeps you dedicated and motivated?
Uh, I think the happiest part of it is, first of all, when they're out of the shelter, I know the dog is not dead. He's still alive. He has a second chance. And second, I would say when they get adopted and I see them that they go to their forever home, the family comes, picks them up, and then they go to to their new home, and then that's like that, like you forget about all the stress, everything else.
How can people get involved and help you?
We need fosters, honestly. We cannot do it with fosters. We really depend on fosters. Like, yes, I do have a network team, I have volunteers, and there's like I have a rescue, but we cannot do it with fosters. And sadly or unfortunately, not many people would like to foster these days. Even though we tell them rescue provides everything, you don't have to even spend $1 on the dog. So we provide everything, but it's so hard to find fosters. We really need fosters. We need fosters, we need like donation, because um, I have about like 46 dogs in my rescue right now. And these dogs needs to be fed, they need toys, they need training, some of them need medical treatment. So it's expensive and it's stressful, let's put it this way.
So, what are people's main fears about being fosters? Because I know most people love animals.
Some of them they say that because of my work schedule I cannot do it, or some they say I have a dog and he's not friendly with other dogs, or they say we have kids, or like we're not ready to foster. They just come up with anything, we can't really tell.
Is there anything to help put their mind? What happens with people who are hesitant? Then they bring them in. Maybe it's not as difficult as they think, or is it as difficult?
Well, I think sometimes foster thinks that rescue will just dump the dog at them and then they'll just walk away, But I'm always in contact with all my rescues. Like I even remember the name of my rescues, where they live. I try to like text them at least like once or every other week to check on them if they need anything or how the dog is doing. And I always tell them anything, text me, call me. My phone is on 24/7. So I always show them that they have my support. They're not left alone with the dog. If anything, they can contact me or my team.
You're reminding me. Have you heard of Niall Harbison? He's in um
No.
oh, what country? Thailand.
Uh-huh.
He's originally from Scotland, and he has committed his life to saving dogs and finding foster homes for them. I follow him on Twitter. And as an animal lover myself, as soon as I heard about you, I can tell that you guys are like angels, the
We
kind of work that
try.
you
We
do.
try. We try. We try. It's just really tough.
Um, so what is the hardest part of the work that you do? So how do you even work? What's your schedule like? Do you even have a regular schedule for something, or are you on call all the time?
No, we work 24/7. Let me put it this way. We work 24/7. I do get texts like sometimes 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or I do get emails 12 o'clock. So we are on clock like 24/7. Sometimes like 6 o'clock in the morning, I get texts, hey, the dog will be dying like at 8 o'clock. We have a foster. Can you send the email? Can you do that? So we have to be on it. So we work 24/7.
You know, the countries that we come from are not as animal pet friendly. Let's just
That's right. I
so
agree. Yes.
for you to have that kind of love and dedication, where do you think that comes from?
For my family, because even back in Iran, we had dog. So we always had dogs. So I was raised with a dog. So yeah, my grandparents, they had a dog, and like I was around dogs all the time. And then when I came here, I was like, okay, I remember 1995, I got my first dog, and actually got him from a pet shop, which I didn't know about rescues at that time. I went to different shelters. I couldn't find a small dog that I wanted, and I wanted like a small dog. So I went to a pet shop and I got that dog. But then again, after like few years later, I was like, oh, there's rescue, there are shelters. So I've had dogs since 1995, like nonstop. Honestly, I don't even know how it is not living with a dog, not living without a dog. So I don't even know how it is. So 95, I got my first dog. 2000, I got my second dog. 2003, I got my third dog. 2014, I got my fourth dog, and to be continued.
So what stories have people shared with you who have foster dogs and come back and maybe it has made an impact? What kind of stories do you want to share?
Um, I had some fosters that they're like, okay, we're gonna foster. We're not ready for a dog, or we're not ready for a second dog, but I will foster. I was like, okay, really? If you can foster, that would help us a lot. But then again, after like I would say couple of weeks or like a couple of months after fostering the dog, they're like, okay, we love this dog so much, we just decided to adopt the dog. So I've had that many times.
That's the best
They're
story.
like, yeah, they're like, even though we weren't ready, even though we didn't want the second dog or the third dog, but we really love this dog. So we're gonna adopt them. So like that's the best news for us.
How many dogs you said you have?
I have about 46 in my rescue.
And well, it seems like because of your location, you have to be in California in order
Well,
for,
I rescue dogs from Northern California and from Southern California shelters, so it doesn't matter. Northern California, they stay in Northern California with my fosters, Southern California with my fosters, and some of them in the boarding facility. So I try to, my network team in Northern California, they network those dogs in Northern California. We try to find them homes in Northern California. But if I have someone who's interested in Southern California, we will transport the dog. As a matter of fact, I have a dog who's in Northern California, and someone contacted me from Orange County, Southern California, yesterday, that they're interested in that dog. So they're meeting halfway with the foster to meet the dog, and they'll most likely take the dog.
how do you advertise or how do you notify people of the dogs that are available? Like, can people go onto your website and see?
Yes, people can go to my website. I post the dogs that I rescue and they're for adoption on my social media. And also I have them adopt a pet. So they're like everywhere. And I also have my team networking them.
What are most of the dogs that are in your care, or they're all different breeds?
I mostly I rescue large dogs because those dogs they have barely any chance of getting out of the shelter alive. So I do like large dogs. I do like German Shepherd, Huskies, Shepherd, Pit Bulls, Rottweilers, Doberman, Cane Corso.
But wait, why is the size? Can you explain that? Why?
Well, because large dogs, they have they have very a rare chance of getting out of the shelter alive because of their breed, because of the breed and because of their size. Small dogs are easier to get adopted, because they're small dogs, easier to take care of. But big dogs, it's not that easy to have them adopted, and those are the dogs that most likely they're gonna get euthanized at the shelter. So that's why I mostly I rescue large dogs.
And what are the laws like in California against neglect and abuse of animals?
To be honest with you, well, obviously, I don't know if people actually obey the law or not because we see so many abused, neglected dogs at the shelters now. So I don't even know how that works, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Most of the
I don't know about like because we have so many dogs that they're abused, they're neglected at the shelters. Like we see it every day, like all the time. So even though if there is a law, I believe people don't follow the law because most of the dogs at the shelter, there's some have neglected, abused, or used for backyard breeding, and then after they're done, they sell the puppies and they don't want anymore. So they just dump the parents at the shelter, because the parents are useless. Let's put it this way.
Melita, where do you see this work in 3 to 5 years from now for you?
That's a good question. I keep telling myself that that's it. After all these dogs that I have, the 46 dogs, after they all get adopted, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do it at least for a while. But then again, the next day I rescue another dog. And then the next day I rescue another dog. So but my goal is if I keep doing the rescue, if I don't stop, my goal is to open my own facility, to have my own facility. So in case if I don't have a foster, I don't need to rely on a foster. If the dog is dying and we don't have a foster, I don't have to worry about that, I'm just going to pull the dog and put him in my facility. That's it. Save the dog.
Wait, so where's the dog now in your home?
No, with my fosters, I have dogs with my fosters, and I have dogs in the boarding facility, which I have to pay for it. It's not my own boarding facility.
I see. Okay, you have to pay for the boarding facility.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I know. Those were the dogs that they actually, some of them, they had fosters, but then the fosters like, oh, we cannot take care of them anymore, we're just tired. So we couldn't find any other fosters, so they ended up at the boarding facility. And then we had like some dogs that they were really good, like really good dog, and we didn't really want them to die because we knew they're good dogs and they're going to get adopted, and we had to save them, but no foster. So we're just going to do it, and we put them in the boarding facility.
Well, it sounds like a lot of work.
It is. It is. It's a lot of work, yeah. Because even the dogs that I have in Southern California in the boarding facility, well, thank God I have a sponsor like that. She's paying for their training. She's paying for they're not like trapped in the kennel. So they're out every day training, socializing with other dogs, with people.
They have a good life.
Honestly, they have a good life. Yeah. And I keep getting videos from my trainers. I'm like, wow, this is a better life than I have. Yeah. They're out every day being trained, socializing with other dogs, I don't let them be trapped in the kennel. You be in the kennel 24/7 until they go home. I don't do that.
What message would you give people that are animal lovers, and what message would you tell them about your dream and what you want for your dogs?
Well, the thing that I would say, if they can foster, not only for my rescue, for any other rescue, doesn't matter, if they can foster, that would be awesome, because rescues are exhausted, rescues are full, they're overwhelmed, and shelters are full. They're over capacity and they're killing dogs like nonstop. So if they can foster even for like a month, so we can just pull the dog out of the shelter, make sure the dog is not safe, is not dead, he's safe, that would be awesome.
Oh, well, I really love and respect what you do, and you're such an angel. I think all people that do that, I know a couple of places when I do actually contribute is for one is in Pakistan that they save animals, a woman that does that, and Nile is another person. But I just when I see the work that they do, and you look like how I can
It's
tell
not easy.
that you guys give all your love and effort
Yeah.
into
It's
that.
no, it's not, because you have to know where your dogs are. You have to know how your dogs are doing. So sometimes I have, because shelter names the dog. When we pull a dog from a shelter, the dog is already named by a shelter. So, and when they go to a foster, the foster, some of the fosters, they try to change the name, and I asked them, like, please don't change the dog's name, because this is how I remember my dogs, by the shelter names. I have the papers and I know which dog is with, with who, the foster. I'm like, please don't change, because it's easier for me to keep track of all my dogs by their shelter names, so I know. And they're like, okay, we won't change it anymore. Because I had someone, a foster, texted me, oh, Sedge is doing good. I'm like, I don't have a dog by the name of Sage. Who is this person? She's like, oh no, this is the new name that we named him. I was like, oh, please don't do it, because I won't remember. Yeah, so it's tough, but at the end, like I said, when they get adopted and you see them, the owner comes and picks them up, or they go to their forever home and they send you updated photos. Oh, he's with his parents, he's like hiking, jogging. That's the best part of it.
Well, I do hope that you, I mean, I'm sure that you already do, and I don't know to what extent, but to use social media. I know this is how I started the groups that I have supported. I found them on social media where they share these stories about, like, even if it's one dog, and they'll share the story from the beginning. Well, in the case of Pakistan, they also save different animals like donkeys and other animals. Yeah. But Niall takes us through the story from the day that he rescues the dog till the very end when it's adopted. And what happens is you see the work and you cannot not be moved by that.
So I believe Nile has his own facility in Pakistan. Yeah, he's not like.
Niall is in Thailand. Now he does, but he didn't, I think from the beginning, he didn't have one. But
Okay.
then people, when they saw it, like people even in England or all over the world, when they see the dogs, they'll go and adopt them and they pay.
What
They
translate?
not only donate for him, but they also pay. They go pick up the dog or pay for the travel. So it's a whole process, but it took years, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I do when I rescue a dog from the shelter, I put like a few photos and I write about the dog, that the dog was safe from this shelter, like the information, and then I put as much as information I have from his background, because we don't know that much, we mostly, they're like stray dogs, or maybe the owner abandoned them, or yeah, if the owner dumped them at the shelter, we know that, so we put as much as info as we could, and then I asked Foster to send me updates, to send me photos, which they do, and then I keep posting the new photos on my social media, on my website, on Adopt a Pet, so people can see. Or if they really need to know about a dog, I'm like, here, if they really want to know, like they send me a text or message, and I give them more information.
Yeah, and I know that's a lot of work in
It's a lot
itself,
of
but
work. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
yes, yes. Well, God bless you and all the work that you do. Thank you so much. Again, I really believe people like you are like angels, really, for what they do.
It's a teamwork. It's a village. It takes a village, like we say.
Yeah, but and it takes a lot of heart.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, who knows, maybe if I'm ever in California, I would definitely be visiting your
That would
animals.
be awesome. Let me
Yes,
know. Thank you so
thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.